So it looks like the relationship between Jennifer Hudson and rapper Common is still going strong, and Jennifer is so crazy about him that she is determined to marry him. But fans are not so convinced that this is a good idea because both Jennifer and Common have a ton of red flags that are bound to cause chaos in the relationship, and sooner or later it's gonna end up in a disaster. But why is Jennifer so determined to be with Common at all costs? And has Common really been manipulating her into staying with him? Okay, so they've been together for a couple of months now, and it looks like all is going well with the relationship. Some are even alleging that Jennifer is even thinking into the future because she is ready and willing to marry Common if he decides to pop the question. But then people are kind of skeptical about this because, well, Jennifer doesn't exactly have the best track record when it comes to relationships. Now, I'm not trying to be shady toward Jennifer or anything like that, but come on, y'all. Her last relationship was a mess, and while she and Common look like they're in a great place right now, people don't exactly have a lot of faith in the relationship. And speaking of her last relationship, it started very similar to her current relationship with Common. She and her ex, David Otunga, first met when he worked on the reality TV show I Love New York too. Well, they didn't exactly meet on the show per se. David being on the show gave him the opportunity to meet a lot of people in Hollywood, and one of his new friends decided to introduce him to Jennifer because he thought that they would be a great match. Well, the friend was right because Jennifer and David immediately took to each other. They started dating sometime in 2007, but the relationship moved very fast. He proposed to her less than a year later on her 27th birthday. This was in September 2008. Unfortunately, Jennifer's mom, brother, and nephew were killed a couple of weeks after Jennifer got engaged, and she had to lean on David for support. Luckily for her, he was more than willing to offer her the support that she needed. He was a very thoughtful partner and would even plan trips for them together so that she could take her mind off of the horrible situation. Jennifer got pregnant later that year, and in 2009, she gave birth to their son David Jr. By 2010, they had been engaged for more than 2 years, and people had started wondering when exactly they were going to get married. Insiders revealed that they had planned to get married in 2010, but they decided to delay the wedding even more. And then they waited 2 more years. By 2012, the rumors had grown so strong that David had to come out to claim that they had already chosen a wedding date, but they were keeping it private. Jennifer even claimed that she had picked out a dress that was going to be a showstopper. They both claimed that the reason they delayed the wedding so much was that they were waiting for justice for the murder of Jennifer's mom, brother, and nephew. They said that was something that was hanging over our hearts for so long, and now we feel like we can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Everything is good now. But by 2014, there was still no word about their wedding, and at this point, it was kind of clear that things had gone downhill between them. David was absent at some pretty big moments in Jennifer's life and career. It was kind of clear at this point that there was something wrong with the relationship, but they kept denying it. They kept up the charade until 2017 when they couldn't pretend anymore. They announced their breakup in 2017, and it wasn't long before the breakup got messy. Jennifer filed an order of protection against David, and she was able to get full custody of their son. She claimed that on one occasion, he had pushed her while she was holding their child, and she also claimed that he was physically and emotionally violent toward her. David denied these allegations, and the charges against him were cleared when the courts couldn't find any evidence against him. But the story got messier when David spilled the tea to TMZ that the reason for the breakup was that Jennifer had cheated on him with music producer Molly Music. Jennifer then accused David of leaking stories about her to the press to tarnish her image, and she filed for a gag order against him, which the courts granted. They had a very messy breakup where they both dragged each other in court. They eventually came to an agreement regarding custody, child support, gag order, and other stuff like that. The relationship started so well, but it got toxic, and the breakup was just as toxic. So when I said that Jennifer's relationship before Common was messy, girl, I was not not kidding around. But she moved on from that relationship and took her time to heal before entering into another relationship. It took her about 5 years before she entered into the dating world, and she decided that Common was the perfect man for her to try her luck with. But the thing is, people are not exactly sure about this either because, well, Common has had his own fair share of red flags as well. There are concerns that he might be love bombing her, and people are worried that the relationship is going to end just as badly as her last relationship did. He even flew all the way to London to support Jennifer for her musical A Strange Loop. Yeah, is this him being a loyal boyfriend, or is he just putting extra effort into the love bombing? If you know Common's dating history, then you'll know that he is constantly doing stuff like this to his girlfriends. He told Angela Rye that he had gone to therapy to seek help for his commitment issues and he was ready to get married.
And he says the work he's doing on himself will help him fulfill a lifelong dream. And you write a lot about you want to be a husband one day. You have a rather famous relationship coach.
Oh yeah, yes, Michelle Obama. She has definitely helped talk me through just certain moments of relationships. We had conversations, and she has given me a lot of wisdom. But one great thing that she told me as I was going through this journey was that you have to understand you're not going to get anybody that's perfect because you're not perfect. So understand that there's some certain things that you will compromise in choosing that partner. But as long as the core values, the values that are most important to you, that person, marks off on that list, then you good.
She gave you some good advice there.
That's good wisdom.
She does some really good wisdom there.
Yeah.
But the moment she started to believe his words and talk about marriage, he dipped faster than a father that went to get milk. Then he moved on to Tiffany Haddish, promised her the world, talked about how she was the one for him. He was ready to settle down. According to Tiffany, the relationship she had with Common was hands down the best she ever had. But the moment Tiffany started talking about how she wanted him to propose to her, Common immediately switched up his attitude. Tiffany revealed that she wanted him to propose to her with a piece of real estate, and this is what Common had to say about that.
It was good for me and the lady. Right now all I want is happiness, good times, peace on earth.
So Common has a history of promising his girlfriends the world and love bombing them. But the moment they get attached and started believing his words, he switches up on them. Like he once went on The Breakfast Club, and this is what he had to say.
The pattern I found myself in and what was called love addiction, my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and this that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that feeling.
In fact, he admitted that once the initial fireworks were over in his relationships, he would just dip. Common also said that he is addicted to love and not intercourse, and that he was usually solely obsessed with the pursuit and early stages of a relationship. So he manages to love bomb women into falling for him, and that explains why Jennifer is so in love with him. And while we wish her the best, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that she doesn't end up getting hurt. As you can expect, fans feel a type of way about this relationship, and they left comments like, Jennifer gonna soon find out that Common belongs to the community and or he's for the people. Common is one of those guys who will jump through hoops to get you and then love bomb you into falling in love. Then the moment you do, he'll lose interest because ultimately it's a game. And once he achieves his goal, he's on to the next challenge. And as long as she understands that she is in a temporary relationship with him, she'll be alright, right? Yeah, doesn't sound like the streets are here for this relationship, but I want to know what you guys think about this one. Do you think that Jennifer is about to get her heart broken by Common, or is she going to be the one to finally tie him down? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and if you like this video, then you're going to love the next one, honey.